You guys combined for 57 tonight, so for both of you, how have you felt about your improvement playing off of each other from the start of the season till now?
I enjoy it. I just think, basketball is a language. You gotta get on the same page with your counterparts, and I think, me and C Square like to play a certain way and that's fast and up tempo. And so I'm gonna always align, based on how she's playing and how the game is going. And I don't know, I'm just gonna take it in stride because I enjoy it. So I'm with it.
Yeah, I think we've gotten a lot better, just like understanding each other as we're playing the game, looking for each other when each other's hot. Like Kelsey got hot there, made a few in a row. So you're just looking to find her. I think in transition, especially the way she runs the floor with her speed, I'm always got my eyes up trying to look to find her, and I think she can tell like when I want her to go back door, when I want her to come cut off the ball or anything like that, and just that chemistry that you get used to playing with one another. It's taken time, but I think we're really starting to get it down.
Kelsey, what do you think it took for you guys to respond to that third quarter physicality and run for them and still come out on top in this one?
That get a little gritty and dirty, obviously. Sometimes, having passion for the game, some moments can just, spike your team up to, go and play well. And, I had a moment myself with T. Cloud and, hats off to her for being a competitor, but I think it kind of helped us, the grit in the game in those third quarters, and when teams make runs, is how you win a game in the WNBA. You gotta be gritty. You gotta be able to get trenchy a little bit.
Christine, and we'll go James.
For both of you, Caitlin, when you were here before the game, you talked about your itching to get back into it. Is that what itching looks like that first quarter?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think we came out with a lot of energy. It's just, continuing to find a way to sustain that, but at the same time, they're a really good team. They're not going to go away. It's just finding ways to, limit that. I think we let them go on a run, but then we respond and they go on another run, but we got to limit the runs. I think that's where we take our next step. And but I'm really proud of us. I thought, there would be times throughout the year where we kind of crumble when we gave up a huge lead. What was our biggest lead? 28. Yeah, and it got down to 1, I think. So, I think there's times where we would have crumbled, but we just kept battling and fighting, and I thought it was a really good win for us.
Go James and Alexa.
Caitlin, for you, how much better do you think you are directing traffic at this point from the start of the season to this point of the season where you're just kind of doing it all to start the game?
Yeah, I think just when I can get going early, that's when I really settle into the game and feel comfortable. And I think my third quarter wasn't great, but kind of found a way to respond, especially there at the end. The way we closed the third quarter, I think, was super important going into the fourth. I think we went on a little run there. We were lucky enough, so we got a 2-for-1 quick, and I made a basket, and then we came down, got a stop, and then Lou made the 3, and I think that just kind of, gave us some fire going into the fourth, and we played really good. But I think just getting to know my teammates and, playing with them, it's just a comfortability. It was going to take me a little bit time to get used to. It was hard to adjust, and, once I kind of found my groove so far, I think we've just been getting better and better.
And then what's the balance of playing off the crowd but also staying within yourself in the moment? Because you did it probably 6 or 7 times tonight.
Yeah, I feel like I have good experience with that. I think, that's something I love to do, but at the same time, you got to use it to help you. It can't be like a distraction. It can't be something that takes you out of your game. It's just let the fans help you, and they're here. They're being loud for us. I thought they were incredible tonight. They thought they were really loud. They were into the game, and you gotta be able to win the ones on your home court, and they certainly help us.
Go Alexa.
Kind of following up on that for both of you, I guess we'll start with Caitlin because you just said that. But how important is it to really start these last 14 games off with a win like that, being able to bounce back, that resiliency, all that?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think it's we're trying to do these last 14 as just one game at a time. Just take it one game at a time, and for us to come out and play a really, really great game. And honestly, the Mercury played really, really well last night too versus Sky. So you knew they were going to come in here with a lot of confidence. With 3 people that have won gold medals, they're coming in here, their confidence is really high. And I thought we came out in the first quarter and really set the tone. But for us, it's just one game at a time. Every single game is going to be difficult. But like I said, I think the ones that we have here at home, and we're lucky enough to have quite a few at home these last 14 games, that we really need to nail down and win.
Go back row on the left, then we'll go to Mike on the left.
Yeah, Caitlin and Kelsey, you haven't played at full game speed for a month. I mean, how tough was that? How much of an adjustment was that?
I called for a sub 6 minutes in. I was like, holy cow. I think it was around 7 minutes in, I called for a sub. I was like, I need a quick minute here because we were playing fast, and then my defense isn't as good, so it's kind of a liability for my team. So just gotta get a second to breathe. So, but yeah, getting back in game shape has been, I think, pretty easy. I mean, we've been competing really hard in practice and playing versus our guys live. We've had refs come in basically, I think, 5 to 7 different times, and we've been playing live. We've just been scrimmaging, and that's the best way to stay in basketball shape is just play live basketball, but obviously it's going to be really hard to replicate a real game. So it felt good to get back out there.
Let's go Mike, then we'll go Matt.
Earlier, you were talking about getting comfortable with each other. I'm curious, Kelsey, from your standpoint, how would you describe the challenge of trying to get acclimated to the kind of passes that Caitlin makes, and vice versa for you, Caitlin, getting used to a whole new team?
I don't think it's necessarily a challenge, but you have to adjust. Obviously, things are different based on the basketball. You know, she was playing Iowa and then coming in and transition as a pro. And I think for us, we got to give her what she needs and be the resource, and kind of just fill out where she kind of needs us to fill those gaps in. I always say that C-Squared is one of those players where her IQ is going to take us a lot of places. And so you just really got to fill in where you fit in as far as like knowing how to read and adjust off her. And once you make that adjustment, I think obviously it's really good basketball. So.
Go Matt, then we'll go Chloe.
Yeah, Caitlin, at the third quarter buzzer, you had a chance to take that final shot. Instead, you opted to give it to Katie Lou. I don't think it had taken one at that point, and she hits it. So what was kind of going through your mind there? Instead of you taking it, you're going to let your teammate take that?
Yeah, she was wide open. I was like, oh. She was almost like too open. I was like, shit.
Chloe.
Caitlin, you kind of mentioned it, but what does it do for your confidence, the team's confidence, that you guys went 3-0 against a team that has 3 Olympic gold medalists?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really view it like that. I think for us is like, honestly, I think one of our biggest wins of the season so far was our first win at Phoenix. I think that really kind of boosted us into how we're playing basketball right now. I think that was like I think it was the first time we beat a team over 500, first of all. It felt like a very good team win. We were down in that game, we came back. So I think it's just like we have a lot of respect for them and how they play the game and how talented they are. And I think that gave us confidence, and you've seen us just get better and better from that point. And being able to beat this team 3 times, that's awesome. It's really hard to beat a team once, let alone twice, but 3 times is really hard to do, especially in this league.
We'll go the last 2 on Zoom. Go Rob, then we'll go Michael.
Thank you. Caitlin, I have a question for you about the work you put in the gym and the practice facilities and all these last few games. I've noticed you've got some muscle growth in these recent games. How's it been?
Studying my arms.
Yeah, you got some good arms.
Yeah, I do. I think at times, I'm small, but I try to hold my own the best I can, and it's actually funny. We were playing live the other day, and I was backing down E-Dub, and E-Dub's like, man, I thought I was just gonna push you out of the way, but you're a little stronger than I thought. I was like, yeah, E-Dub, don't mess with me, but I don't know. I think I'm discreetly strong. I'm never gonna be the strongest person, and I know that. I try to, put on some weight, and I've been working hard in the weight room, and obviously there's some limits to that and what I can do, obviously being in the season, but over the course of the last 3 weeks or so, we've all been going pretty hard in the weight room. I haven't been very happy with our strength coach. I've been very sore, and it's been hard to shoot some days, but I think it's definitely going to help me down the stretch to have that extra little muscle. Whether I actually have it or not, we don't really know. But yeah, that's definitely something I'll continue to focus on. But more than anything, I never want to lose my speed. I like being fast and sprinting.
Last one, Mike.
Yeah, thank you. Caitlin, it seems like the part of your game that really just translated immediately, obviously, is your court vision. And I wonder how much you feel like you've even grown in the course of this season in terms of being able to dissect a game.
Yeah, I think the biggest way I've grown is I feel like I've always been able to kind of understand the court well and see something happen before it happens, but I think it's just been developing the chemistry with my teammates where they can see it and be on the same page. And like I said earlier, I think that just takes time. And now you see people, cutting in fast breaks, or whether Kelsey's back making a backdoor cut. I think it's just having that chemistry that's unspoken. I'm not telling them to do that, but they can just kind of read my eyes and understand, and we're all on the same page at the same time. So that's something I take a lot of pride in. I think being able to pass and being able to, finish well around the rim and shoot the ball, it just makes it a matchup problem for the other team. And, sometimes I overpass. But then obviously the turnovers too, just continue to find a way to try to limit the ones that are bad turnovers. I had a couple tonight that weren't the greatest, but you live and learn on.
Saw 57 combined from Caitlin and Kelsey tonight. I'm curious how you've seen their chemistry develop as the season has gone on from start to now.
Yeah, just, with this being such a young team with, no experience together, like just as the season goes, they just start recognizing things with each other. Caitlin had a couple possessions where she knew when Kelsey was hot. She didn't even need me to call what we were going to run in a dead ball situation. She went right to something that we have in for Kelsey. That's just growth, but it's just, these guys getting to know each other and trusting each other.
We got James and Chloe.
How do you think Kelsey responded to what she describes like trenchy, gritty basketball, and obviously kind of not letting the rope go there in the third quarter?
Yeah. Well, 7 turnovers in the third quarters where we have to get better, and they did a great job of doing exactly that, holding on to the rope. We keep talking about that. That is with a young team. We got out to such a hot start. You're not going to be able to sustain that. They have 3 Olympians on that team. But you have to be able to manage when they go on their runs. You can't let them have as much freedom. I think they went on a 9-1 run in the third, took a timeout, and then they went on another like 11-5 or 11-6 run. But that was in the middle of all of our turnovers. I need to do a better job. I think things were going so well in the first quarter. When we got to the second, I felt like their legs were a little going on them. I'd let them stay in a little too long, so my rotations probably needed to be a little different in the second quarter. But it's that third quarter. It's that one quarter. We have that one quarter that we've got to figure out. We can't give up 28 points. We still scored 19, but we've got to do a better job of when they go on those runs to be able to stop that and change the momentum.
We got Chloe and Christine.
Yeah, just what kind of confidence does it give you and your team that you got a season sweep over the Mercury, who you said 3 Olympic gold medalists?
Yeah, it's just those small victories that, we want to get the W in the win column, but those are things that, hasn't been done in several years. That's a huge win for us. We just keep building on all these little things and keep talking about our habits that are going to help us be successful. But we just keep looking for the next game. We're not looking ahead for anything. We're pushing for those playoffs, but just going game by game.
We got Christine, then we go Matt.
Christy, going back to that first quarter, how fun was that? Obviously you have the second, third, fourth yet to come. But just to see the way your team was playing, and as Caitlin had said before the game, she said, I'm itching. I guess that's the definition of what itching looks like when you unleash it. Is that accurate?
I guess that's exactly what it looks like. It was really fun to watch. These guys were getting the stops, which was allowing them to get out and transition, and that is where we are at our best. And then, as long as we keep attacking, they had a couple offensive rebounds that resulted in some threes for them, and it kind of let the air out. But that first quarter, these guys, they just have the ability. Caitlin, Kelsey, Liz, AB, Katie Lou had a big shot to end the third, had that 3. These guys can just put the ball in the hole.
We go Matt, then we'll go Lou.
Yeah, Christy, I guess, were you expecting that Phoenix would, eventually show up with the physicality that they did in the third quarter? And I guess if so, what was that halftime conversation like with your team?
Yeah, these guys are capable of putting 30 points up in a quarter. That's what I told them. That is who they are. They are a veteran group. Like I said, there are 3 Olympians out there. Natasha Cloud is a great point guard. They have the ability to put points up. They're one of the best teams in the league. Just gotta find ways, we kind of just let the air out of ourselves whenever things kind of go south for us, and that is being just an inexperienced group. Get these, I was talking to AB after the game, and she was like, Coach, yeah, it happened, but I think we picked that up in the fourth quarter. We didn't just let it keep going, which is, you just gotta find that growth.
We go Lou, then we'll go back up front and Tony.
When that is happening and they came back and took the lead by a point, was it hard to even believe they did after being down by 28? I know things can't go perfectly the whole game, but probably when you're up by that much, you must feel like we're in control here.
You do, but I'm going to say it, with a young, inexperienced group that's learning how to play when you're up. It's happened to us a few times already this season. That's just a learning thing and a growth thing that we've got to figure out how to stop those runs. That Phoenix did. I still never lost faith. Kelsey came alive right there, and Kelsey knew that was happening and kept feeding her the ball. Kelsey just kept just being so aggressive. Another thing for us is our fouling. I mean, we put them on the free throw line so much. They're putting their head down and driving on us. We've got to be able to know that some of those shots that they're taking, they're just not that would be hard shots for them to make, but we're bailing them out with fouls. So that, with the turnovers, is where we've got to be better. That's growth.
We'll go Tony, then we'll go James.
You mentioned Caitlin finding Kelsey without you having to call plays, and we hear a lot about coaches seeing the game through their point guard's eyes as time goes on. How have you felt that kind of relationship with Caitlin develop in game throughout the year?
Yeah, it was really good during this break to be able to have these scrimmage segments, and I really wanted her to empower her teammates. I really wanted her to do a lot of talking to her teammates. So there was a lot of times where the drills are running certain offenses, I would tell her and only her, so she would be able to get out and tell the players, what we were running or where to go. I would throw some things out there with some sets that we haven't run, so she had to think it through and put people in the right position. But that's, we just have to keep getting better at those things, and then she's learning her teammates. And like tonight, I mean, when Kelsey got hot, she went right with, something that is a touch for Kelsey, and that shows just a lot of growth.
James.
Christie, when you're in the middle of the playoff hunt, playoff push, I'm just curious, obviously things have been tough throughout the years here. What is that strain like to just try to be different and try to win and win at a high level?
Yeah, being in this second year of a rebuild, right? This is our second year. Great foundation last year. I really have just been preaching my staff, and I just find a way to only focus our energy on the next play, which is the next game. We aren't in a position yet to look ahead. We can't look in what other people are doing. We've got to focus on us and our habits and us just improving every game. It's our goal to get to the playoffs. It's our goal, and you got to do certain things in this league. I've coached in this league a long time. You got to win the games that you're supposed to win, especially the ones at home. And so that was what was important tonight. First game back, can't look forward. Just make sure we get this win against Phoenix. And they came out and did a great job to start, and then a great job to finish the game.